Okay, I have finally received, hopefully, the part that I need to convert the spline shaft on this EZGO so I can put a hub on here and run a sprocket. My idea is, as long as I can get a hub that'll fit on here, use one of my removable hubs, cut a keyway into this adapter. It's actually a spline adapter to lengthen the spline shaft. So as long as I can find a hub that'll fit, the idea is to cut a keyway into here, and then the hub itself will be removable. This piece will not be removable. It will most likely be welded to the actual input shaft to the rear end on this EZGO. So I have not checked it yet. I'm going to get the package open and we'll see if this will fit. This was right around 80 bucks off eBay. Hopefully it fits. Okay, I have not yet tried it, but here's what it looks like outside the package. This is 19 splines, and that there is also 19 splines. So hopefully it'll fit. There we go. It will fit. I'm gonna have to tap it in the remainder. So this here piece, like I said, will not be removable. I'm gonna have to find a hub similar to how I do my conversions on riding lawnmowers. So I'll find a hub that will fit onto here, and I'll use a sprocket. And the sprocket will be removable in the future if I want to re-gear this thing. Also, I need to figure out the actual sprocket size I want to use on the rear end, and what size the sprocket. Hopefully the torque converters, they come with a sprocket already on. I do believe they do. So I got to figure out what size that is, and the chain, and all that other nice stuff. Some people were mentioning the splines right here are completely shot. The inner splines, where I'm going to be tapping this into, where it's actually going to be riding on, are actually in good shape. So I plan on using more of the inner splines here, not these outer ones. But as you can see, it is on there, and the brakes are on this, and it's not even slipping. So putting a fair bit of force on it. Let me release the brakes and I'll show you. Okay, the brakes are released. And as you can see, the cart is moving. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the cart is actually moving with the actual brakes off and this adapter on here. This should actually be reversible as well. Yep. So basically, gotta get it to the right spot, then tap it into place. Obviously, do that once I have figured out my keyway on here, because it would suck to get this on here and not be able to pull it off and have to cut a keyway in it. So I gotta figure out my hub, my keyway, cut a keyway in it, and then work on my drive line. So my next step would be to order a engine plate from Go Power Sports, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to get my hub done, and then I'm going to go to gopowersports.com, link in description, and figure out my engine plate. I have found them. They do carry them. So the engine plate's going to go right in this area right here, probably on top or down in. This here plate will not be removable. This here is the original gas pedal line, if you want to call it that. It would have went to a control box with micro switches and would have operated this unit to go forward and reverse. Obviously, it's no longer being battery, it's going to be gas. So I'm hoping to somehow reuse a little bit of that line, because if you look, that does actually move back and forth. So if I could figure out a way of attaching the new throttle cable right up to here somehow and reconnecting this, that actually worked out pretty good, but I don't think that's going to happen. Most likely I'll have to run a new cable. So I would like to keep the system where you press the gas pedal, it pops the brakes off. I would like to keep that if I can. This here, the steering was bent. That's my redneck steering repair. I had this 2x12 that happened to be perfect length to go in here. Steering is straightened out now. I'm just leaving it in there for now, just to help give it some stability when I'm moving this around. Also, the front end still yet has to be cut off. I want to get everything in the back here all sorted out and figure out what I need next with the sprocket. Because the engine I can order online if I want to, but it's just getting the sprocket and the hub for the actual transmission on the rear end is the more difficult part, or more important part to get right now. Because without that, if I was to order the engine and it doesn't work, I may have to order a different sprocket and actually weld the entire sprocket to that hub, which I don't really want to do, or sorry, to that adapter, which I don't really want to do. So next, like I said, go to Princess Auto and find a hub that will fit that spline adapter, and figure out where it's going to go. The engine will not be centered. To make everything work out and not to have to run a jack shaft, the engine will be a little bit off center, but it's a four-wheeled vehicle. I don't think it will necessarily matter having the engine off center. It's probably going to be more to the passenger side than it will be to the driver's side. So the battery will most likely be in that spot right there. And I might run a lawn tractor style fuel tank on the driver's side. I actually also have a couple fuel tanks kicking around from Noma zero turns. Noma and my old Craftsman zero turn machines I had, or four-wheel steer, they're basically zero turns. So those actually tanks have fuel gauges in them. I should have two of them kicking around. So I might figure out a way using those tanks in here and extend the actual range of this machine. Because if you mount the engines in here, the Power Fist or the Honda clones, whatever you want to call them, they're same engines. If you mount them in here, they're sometimes too high and they will collide with the seat. So you want to get them down as low as possible, and you don't really want colliding with your seat as much as possible. And if I have to run an electric fuel pump, so be it. It's not a big deal. So that's pretty much it. My hub, my spline adapter fits. That should actually work out pretty good. So I'll talk to them later. Please give a redneck like always, and please remember comment. One step closer to getting this thing converted. Bye for now.